This video is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Rodolfo Dines, to use this as educational material.
Good day, Mr. Adines. I am here to discuss the origins and manifestations of global environmental crisis. Global environmental crises originate from human activities such as industrialization, deforestation, overpopulation, and the excessive use of fossil fuels. These actions disrupt the natural balance of ecosystems and contribute to climate change and environmental degradation. Manifestations include global warming, extreme weather events, pollution of air and water, loss of biodiversity, desertification, rising sea levels, and ozone layer depletion. These crises affect both nature and human health, threatening food security, water availability, and overall quality of life.
Good day, Mr. Ardines. So today, I discuss about desertification and ozone depletion. First is desertification. It's the process where fertile land turns into desert, usually because of human activities like deforestation, overgrazing, and poor farming methods, combined with the climate change. It leads to the loss of soil, fertility, water scarcity, and can force people to leave their home. Example, in the Sahel region in Africa, where large areas of land have become dry and unproductive. The second one is the ozone depletion. It's a thinning of the ozone layer in the Earth's stratosphere, which protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. This happens mainly because of human-made chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons. For example, is the ozone hole over Antarctica, which has led to increased UV exposure and higher risk of skin cancer, environmental damage.
Pollution and global warming originate mainly from human activities such as the burning of fossil fuel, deforestation, industrial processes, and improper waste disposal. These actions release large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which trap heat and disrupt the Earth's natural climate systems. In everyday life, we encounter the effect of these environmental issues in various ways. Rising temperatures make outdoors activities and commuting more difficult, especially in urban areas. Air pollution often results in smog that causes health problems, particularly among vulnerable populations. We also experience extreme weather events like floods, droughts, and stronger storms, which are becoming more frequent and intense due to climate change. So furthermore, plastic waste and garbage are common sights in streets, rivers, and oceans, reflecting how pollution affects our surroundings. These environment challenges can also lead to food and waste shortages, affecting prices and access to basic needs. Through these daily experiences, the consequences of pollution and global warming become tangible, reminding us of the urgent need for the more sustainable practices.
So, for the policies and programs of governments around the world that address the environmental crisis, we all know that the world is facing a serious environmental crisis, from climate change and pollution to deforestation, and also for water scarcity. Governments around the globe are stepping up with policies and programs to protect our planet. So let's take a look at how they're doing it. So first, we have for global cooperation, like Paris Agreement in 2015. Almost every country agreed to cut greenhouse gas emissions and limit global warming to below to 2 degrees Celsius. And next for Montreal Protocol in 1987. This is a huge success. It phased out ozone depleting substances and helped heal the ozone layer. And lastly, for Kyoto Protocol in 1997, an early effort to reduce emissions, setting the stage for future climate deals. Then second, for natural policies or national policies. The European Union, we have the European Green Deal. It aims to make Europe climate neutral by 2050. Also, it includes clean energy, a circular economy, and big investment in sustainability.
So before I proceed, I am John Ray Dikdikan and I'm here to continue the next part. Today, I'm going to talk about how different countries and local communities are addressing the urgent issue of climate change. From national policies to grassroots efforts, the fight to protect our environment is a shared global responsibility. So, in United States, the Inflation Reduction Act puts $369 billion into clean energy, EVs, and climate resilience. The EPA regulates pollution, waste, and industrial emission. So in China, plans to peak carbon emission by 2030 and hit carbon neutrality by 2060. Major investment in solar, wind, and reforestation like its Great Green Wall. In India, the National Action Plan on Climate Change promotes solar energy, sustainable farming, and water conservation, launching the International Solar Alliance with over 100 countries. So in Brazil, focuses on protecting the Amazon through conservation areas and indigenous land rights. But deforestation due to farming and logging remains a big challenge. Local and community action. Cities and communities are joining the fight. So, Copenhagen and Vancouver lead with green transport and low emission. San Francisco aims for zero waste through recycling and composting. In Nepal and Tanzania, communities manage forests and protect biodiversity. In conclusion, from global agreements to local action, governments are playing a major role in tackling environmental problems. But real change needs all of us, governments, businesses, and everyday people working together to protect the planet.
Good day, Mr. Dennis. So today I'm going to talk about what is the relationship of population growth to environmental issues. So population growth is closely linked to environmental issues. Number one, more people equals more resource use. As the population grows, so does the demand for water, food, energy, and land. This leads to overuse of depletion of natural resources. Number two, increased waste and population. A larger population produces more waste, including plastic, sewage, and air pollutants, which can harm ecosystems and human health. Number three, habitat destruction. To make space for housing, agriculture, and infrastructure, forests and wildlife habitats are often destroyed, reducing biodiversity. And number four, climate change. Higher population means greater fossil fuel use, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and global warming. In short, rapid population growth puts pressure on the environment, accelerating degradation unless managed sustainably.
Good day, Mr. Dennis. I'm John Riatopan and I'm discussing about the relationship between population growth and food security. It is significant because as global population increases, the demand for food rises as well. And here's how. First, higher food demand. More people means more mouths to feed. This increases pressure on agriculture to produce enough food. Second is resource pressure. Growing populations need more land, water, and energy, the same resources needed for food production. Overuse can lead to soil degradation, water scarcity, and environmental damage, reducing food availability. Third is food access challenges. In many regions, especially developing countries, rapid population growth can lead to poverty, unemployment, and poor infrastructure, making it harder for people to afford for access food. The last is urbanization. As population grow, more people move to cities. Urban areas rely heavily on rural food production and efficient supply chains, which can be disrupted by overpopulation.
Today, sir, I'm going to talk about sustainability. As population growth, it directly affects sustainability by increasing pressure on Earth's natural systems. More people means higher demand for food, water, energy, land, and other resources. This often leads to deforestation, pollution, waste accumulation, and overuse of non-renewable resources. As a result, climate change worsens, biodiversity declines, and the environment becomes more fragile. To meet growing needs, industries in agriculture ramp up production, often using unsustainable practices like excessive chemical use and extensive land exploitation. Urban areas also expand rapidly, straining infrastructures and public services, while increasing carbon emissions and reducing green spaces. The source just as important, rapid population growth can lead to poverty, poor health, inadequate education, and resource-based conflicts of all challenge long-term sustainability. To achieve true sustainability, population must be matched with smart, long-term strategies that protect environment, support economic growth, and ensure a better quality of life for current and future generations.
What is development? Development encompasses economic, social, and environmental growth, aiming to improve human well-being and quality of life. In the context of environmental crisis, development should prioritize. Number one is sustainability, balancing economic growth with environmental protection. The second is equity, ensuring fair distribution and resources and benefits. The last is long-term thinking, considering the impact of development in the future generations. So, sustainable development requires integrating environmental, social, and economic considerations to create a more equitable and prosperous future.
Good day, sir. My name is Mark Jason Reyes. I will be answering the future of globalization. So, the future of globalization is expected to focus more on sustainability, cooperation, and technology sharing. As climate change becomes a global concern, countries are likely to work together more closely on environmental issues. This could lead to a rise in eco-globalization, where trade and innovation and international policies support the green energy, clean technologies, and climate-friendly development. However, there are also challenges like increased emissions from a global transport and unequal access to resources. The goal is to make the globalization more equitable and environmentally responsible, balancing economic growth with the health of the planet. That's all, sir. Thank you.